a Black Thursday for the country. Allow me to give my condolences on my own behalf and of that of Gilgil people, and of course the Committee of Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Relations in Parliament.
Yes, indeed. And the committee has been quite busy in the last few days vetting the diplomatic nominees. But just from where you see it, madam, how big of a blow is this?
This has never happened in the history of this country. I mean, we've never lost a CDF in office. In fact, I think in history we've only lost one outside after our retirement. It's quite a big blow, and I joined the CIC, that is the Commander-in-Chief. I was in this committee last time, so I've worked with the late General Gola, right from when he was the VCDF to his rise to CDF, and losing 10 soldiers is really not an easy thing, and I think as a country, we only can send our prayers to the families. I've interacted with General's wife, Eileen. I cannot imagine what they are going through. And I pray that they get some peace from the Almighty, because that's all we can pray for. But as a country, it is a huge blow to our country. And I think it's also a big lesson in terms of the peace in the North Rift, that we still haven't dealt with it, and it has gotten to the point of claiming even one of our, the accident claiming one of our CDFs in office.
Now, you have had the privilege, I should say, of working with the man, the general, the fallen general. Yeah. What are your impressions of the man? What do you remember of him?
I think one thing I would say, he was soft-spoken. I've worked, last parliament I worked with the other CDF. I've worked with 3 CDFs in parliament. And I think the one thing that stood out with General Gola was, of course, his longevity in terms of service. He was doing 40 years. He always joked that I'm as old as he has served in the military. And he was a soft-spoken person, always a diligent person, willing to listen, and an ardent exercise freak, I would say, because he would run even with his troops. He was just in Ulinzi the other day. You could see his videos going round, working out with his own troops, with Ulinzi stars, You don't always find him with his people. And I think he was a great leader and a great commander, I would say. And I think that's why, even if you looked at the body language of the Commander-in-Chief, it is quite a shocker that we have lost him in this very most unfortunate way. And not just him, including all the other soldiers. And I've had the advantage of working with some of them, including Sergeant Nyawera, who was his photographer. In every military function we'd go. We've gone to Mtongwe with him. We've been to Gilgil with him. We've been to the barracks. We've been to Laikipia as a committee. And I think we can only send our condolences to the KDF fraternity for this huge loss.
Right. Now, madam, here's something that's happening right now. The nation is in mourning, but there's also a lot of confusion. There's also a lot of conjecture, lots of opinions, left, right, and center. For a nation that is as confused, as hurt, and grieving as ours is, what is your message to them this evening?
My message, I'll echo what the president has said. I mean, it was an accident. He has committed to put up a team to investigate, because every accident in the military or anywhere should actually have a report, should be investigated thoroughly. And of course, I would ask Kenyans to remain calm. I know the last few hours have been very tough, because even when this accident happened early in the afternoon, there is a lot of procedures that had to be done. The Security Council had to be convinced. The Commander-in-Chief had to actually give the message himself. And I thank the media, because even with the speculation, we have tried to maintain calm as much as possible. And I pray that we still keep our country, to be bigger than any person, reduce any innuendos that would cause any divisions, and wait for the report for the task force. And I see even in Parliament, tomorrow we were to open that Bunge Tower. The President has already cancelled it because he was to officiate it, because 3 days of mourning, everything should just stop so that we give the respect that they deserve these final days. And I hope that we can maintain the peace of the country and, to reign supreme.
Yes, indeed. And just before I let you go, 3 days of mourning, 3 official days of mourning. What sort of advice would you have for the rest of the country in how to carry themselves in the course of these 3 days?
For one thing, I would ask Kenyans, especially on social media, because I think our democratic space has really allowed people to say many things. You scroll on X today, on Facebook, many people are saying all sorts of things, not remembering that these members, also these soldiers also have families. I would ask that we exercise restraint in making some innuendos and some comments, even on social media. Let us not aggrieve an already very bad situation, and give the families the space to mourn their loved ones, and not make any statements that would make a bad situation worse.
Right. Thank you so much for your comments. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been the Honourable Martha Wangari, member for Gilgil, as well as a member of the Committee of Defence and Foreign Affairs, among other things. Thank you, madam. And
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that.